Good evening everyone and very warm welcome to another episode of Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Today we are at a completely different airport, so we're at Glasgow Airport in Scotland, and this is the Parigi developments scenery that we've got here. I thought we'd start from this view just so you guys could have a quick look around the airport. We are live on the VATSIM network, so apologies if it does get a little bit noisy all of a sudden. We've got an aircraft just coming into land. As you can see, the weather here today is not brilliant. Obviously it is evening time here in the UK. However, we thought what we'd do is we would just put it back into daylight mode, just so you guys get the best of it. So yeah, this is pretty much the airport. It's quite a big airport actually. It's bigger than I anticipated being. The fire station over there, the main ATC tower. But yes, a bigger airport than I anticipated. We can always watch this aircraft just come in and then we'll get ourselves set up ready for our departure. Hey everybody, how are we doing? Yes, I'm all good, thank you. And evening Leo, hope you're well mate. There's another Scandinavian airline. The runway is a little bit wet today, as you can see. Anyway, so let's jump into the flight deck. Let's get ourselves all set up and ready for our departure. So we've not done anything as of yet. So let's get the crew oxygen on. Ground control switched on. ADIs 1, 2 and 3. Fuel pumps all on. And we can have some nav lights on. And the glide select mode can be enabled. So that's pretty much it for the minute. Let's get passengers boarded and we will go from there and take you quickly through our operational flight plan. So today we're doing a flight over to Southampton Airport, which I've personally never flown to before, so it could be an interesting one. Quite a small airport, short runway. It's only just big enough for the 319, which is what we're flying today. We've got 119 passengers, 5.4 tonnes of fuel. Let's take you through our briefing as well. So we're in the A319 CFM variant, which is obviously in the EasyJet livery today. Call sign is Easy 97 Juliet. Might as well get the tug connected, ready for departure. Cost index of 12, flight level 370, with a nasty headwind of 26 knots. Block time of 1 hour 30, and a actual air time is around 58 minutes.
Hello Captain, we are ready for pushback.
Takeoff weight is 58.5 tonnes and we're below our maximum landing weight if we need to make an immediate return. So we're expecting runway 05 today at Glasgow, the Norbo 1 Juliet SID, and then we're expecting runway 20, which is the Bug Up 1 Sierra arrival. Like we say, pretty much 5.5 tonnes of fuel. And the weather here today, as you can see, it's just started raining, so it's going to be a little bit on the dodgy side. So current weather today, so QNH is 1988. The wind is currently 07018, gusting 29 knots with rain, overcast 1,400 feet. Temperature is 6 degrees, so we're going to require our anti-ice for departure, but no de-icing is required. And for our destination, the wind is 156 knots, clouds are broken, and very similar weather here to here up in Scotland, to be honest. But there's no rain reported, so that's one positive thing. So we're departing from Glasgow, Luke. Cheers for the follow, William. And hey, machine gun, how I do, mate? Is there an alternative to Navigraph? There is. I'm trying to think what it's called, but there is a free alternative. 100% there's a free alternative. I guess everyone can hear me okay, everything's all good. So then the overhead's pretty much done. Let's quickly get the ground proximity warning system all sorted. As far as the way of boarding is about to start, have a quick look, get all these tuned in. So unfortunately no ATC on here. There is a military ATC on tonight, but no ATC for us, which is a bit of a shame, but there we go. So I think refueling's just starting as we speak, which it is. So we will leave the seatbelt signs off for the time being, and I'll take you through a little bit about departure performance in a second. So we know the runway is wet, and we require engine and wing anti-ice patch to stay off, and we want flaps 2 for this. 28 is our CG today. 125, 136, 140. So obviously you see the V speeds are quite far apart. That's very typical of wet weather. We can send that straight to the MCDU just to save us typing all that in as well. And let's get ourselves set up. So head over to the init page, init request, and we'll get everything set up. Whilst that's working itself out, we're going to put EasyJet A319 into our flight number, just in case we decide to do anything. Last index I think was 12 today, which it is. Flight level 370, and it's minus 53 for our flex. Current ground temperature 6 degrees, 31161. We'll quickly get the latest winds, we'll just wind request that. IRS is there all in alignment at 7 minutes until that alignment. 5.5 tonnes of fuel required. Zero fuel weight was 53.2 and our CG is 28. Just see if it allows me to put the trip wind in. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Any other thing we need to fiddle with, so in our performance page, we've got all performance there. I have a transition level 7,500 feet. Flight plan, departure runway 05. And we are having the Norby 1 Juliet departure. So, and then our arrival into Southampton is ILS 20, and it's via the Book Up 1 Sierra arrival, and we'll have a look at that a little closer down. So it's approximately an hour flight, I think. 1 hour 6 minutes it's calculated at the moment. Cool stuff. I'm pleased the sound and everything's okay. I'm a bit confused. Why are we listening to Jet 2 announcements? It's got very muddled up here.
Please make sure the island exit areas are nice and clear.
Oh well. I don't know how that's happened, because they're in a completely different folder, unless one of the ones has been sent across, but there we go. Everybody how are doing from Indonesia? Yeah, I thought that, to be fair, Machine Gun. I thought an hour was quite a long way, considering it's only Glasgow to Southampton. I thought that was quite a long flight, to be honest, but apparently not. So TCAS T8 mode is there. So let's do its normal test.
Terrain. Pull.
So I think fuel's all on board now. Have a look. They're just getting themselves sorted, I believe. And then we've got ourselves ready for our departure. Yeah, I don't know why we're having Jet 2 announcements. No idea. That'll be me literally tomorrow. Safe. Well, you can save £200 off for a family of 4. Ironically, that's who I'm flying with. Basically, in about a day's time. Just over a day's time. Yeah, it's pretty. I like the 319. Anyone that's followed the channel for a while knows that I've got a little bit of an obsession to the 319. Anyway, so let's get seatbelt signs on. Why we haven't got passengers in here is because the door's not open. Please tell me I've got passengers. Where's my passengers? What's going on? I'm very confused. Occasionally GSX does this, and it doesn't always seat passengers, but Oh well. One of these things, isn't it? So let's see what's on. Well, I'll shut the door then. There's no passengers to look at. There's not even any crew to look at. So we've got 1 minute till IRS alignment. And I presume bags are just being loaded as we speak. Hey Jordan, how we doing, buddy? So then, pretty much ready to go. Everything's all in the flap. I'm just waiting for the IRS is to align. A couple more minutes and just bags. Ooh, there you go. They've definitely aligned. Look at that dodgy weather. Proper wet weather. I presume all the bags are on. Or are they not on yet? Let's have a look. Oh no, no bags have been loaded yet. And it's really annoying me. Up the tunnels halfway, jetway's halfway through. When do you apply for fuel? When do you apply the fuel weight for GSX3 fuel weekend start truck? So I run it through SimBrief, buddy. So it goes through Leo, goes through SimBrief, and then that calculates all the weights and everything, so you don't have to worry about it. So let's get the APU started and we get ready for our departure. APU start and bleed. That's not what I wanted. I think these guys are just yeah, really unrealistic as well. Sometimes it does this. It puts bags on. It puts boxes on rather than the actual bag conveyor belt. Yeah, flight's in 2024, Alec, but pretty much 2025. It's with the latest update anyway. So we get the APU powered up, and then we're pretty much ready to rock and roll. Yeah, it's fairly realistic to be fair, machine gun. It's pretty. The Phoenix is one of the most realistic that you can get. Between that and FS Labs, I would say, are probably the two most realistics. Cheers to the spam. I don't know. If I'm honest, Alec, I'm not sure, buddy. So, that's APU on and available. APU bleed, let's get rid of external power.
Please make sure the island exit areas are nice and clear.
If you need a hand, I'll catch
Just quickly get rid of the company message, which should just be our load sheet. Like I say, there's still no ATC on here at the moment. There's one aircraft here, but it's not causing any problems to us. Right then.
We'll shortly be closing the door.
Copy prep, gear pins covers, remove fuel quantity, 5.5 tons. See button, it is now power of 1, no, not even 1. 988 hectopascals. So it could be a bit of a blustery takeoff, to be fair.
Damaged or overheating, please inform us immediately.
Before start, parking brake is set. Take a speeds and thrusts. 125, 136, 140, thrust 68. Windows and doors closed, beacon can come on. We don't need de-icing, that's not needed. And we want nose to the left, tail to the right.
Release parking brakes, please.
Let's just announce our pushback. So traffic, EasyJet Juliet pushing back from stand 24 to face north onto Mike. Brakes released, clear to push.
Commencing push. Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push is completed and brakes are set.
Wonderful. So we'll let them do their thing. Cheers for the light down. They annoy me, the wipers. They're alright, but they're just really annoying, I think. Got really annoying noise, haven't they?
Please set parking brakes.
Exit clear to disconnect. Start sequence 1 and 2 starting at 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good afternoon. A very warm welcome
Cheers for following me.
flight today.
Unlocking gear.
Welcome to our EasyJet Plus cardholders. If you would like to know more about this service, please do not hesitate to ask any of your crew throughout the
To
flight.
be fair, if the tug's still connected, you can't steer left or right, to be fair.
The crew today. Working me at the front, we have Tim. Joining you.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Start engine 2.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Whilst we take you through the safety procedures of this aircraft, an Airbus A320. Thank you.
Please pay attention to illuminated signs and crew instructions, including the following safety procedures. The safety card found in your seat pocket contains important information about exit routes, oxygen masks, life jackets, and the brace position that you must adopt if you hear. There are 8 emergency exits on this aircraft. The cabin crew are now pointing out the exits nearest to you. Please be aware that your nearest usable
Engine
exit
2 available.
may be behind you. Emergency lighting will guide you to an exit. In an emergency, leave all baggage on board.
After start, engine and wing anti-ice on. You can status check pitch trim.
Adjust it.
We need to have a good look at
and
that.
release.
Point 7 up.
It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on. We recommend that you keep it fastened.
Point
all
7 up. What
If
did
air
you
supply fails, masks will drop from above you. Pull a
Flight
mask
controls, fill
towards
up.
you to start the oxygen.
Pull down.
Put the mask over your nose and mouth
Neutral.
and
Full
breathe
left.
normally.
Alright.
Hold the mask in
Neutral
place
rudder.
with the strap.
Pull left.
Pull on each side.
Pull
to
right.
Put on your own mask
Neutral.
before helping others. If we land on water, take a life jacket from under your seat.
So, we're all good to
Remove
go.
from the pouch and put it over your
Let's ready for
head.
taxi. Taxi lights.
Pass the tapes around your waist and click together. Pull the strap to adjust. Do not inflate it inside the aircraft. When outside, inflate it by pulling
Glasgow
it
traffic
on.
easy. 97 Juliet taxiing
If it
to
fails to
Golf 1
inflate or
from
needs
005
softener,
by Michael
blow
Golf.
into this tube. There is a light and whistle for attracting attention.
Released.
The cabin crew can assist you with life jackets for children. Your tray table must now be stowed,
Yeah, this is not really
down,
too bad.
window blinds open, and seatbelt fastened. Further information regarding your
Right,
safety
check.
on board can be found in the in-flight magazine. We hope you have a great flight.
How much the sim costs? It's difficult to say, really, buddy, because I don't. In fairness, a lot of the like the actual sim seat and the screen mount and everything, I didn't pay full price for it. I think if you're looking full price, you'd be probably looking 2 or 3 grand, I would imagine. Well, I didn't pay. I'm probably around near to the 2 mark, I would think. Especially now I've got these throttles. So just waiting for the cabin to be secure, and then we get ourselves departed. Like that.
Hello, it's Cameron at door 1 left. Cabin secure for takeoff.
Wonderful, thanks. Yes, I do use Chase Cam, buddy. So, taxi checklist, flap setting, conform, plus F radar, predictive, windshield system on and auto. Engine mode selected norm, and eco memo, take off no blue. And line up checklists. Take off runway confirm 05. TCAS TARA. Max 1 and 2 both off. So it's just cabin packs that are brought with the Phoenix, mate. So just gonna have a quick look on the radar, make sure there's nothing inbound that we haven't seen. So it's not. Glasgow traffic EasyJet A319 line up runway 05 for an immediate departure. It's EasyJet, buddy. That's the airline today, as you can see. Strobes on. Just really clear it on the approach path. So, there's 50%. Take off. And flex 68, that's where runway or thrust. Thrust up. $100 knots. P1. Rotate. Positive rate of climb, go. Enough. Thrust climb climb. Max 1, 2 both on. Glasgow traffic EasyJet A319 passing 2,300. Block 0, speed check block 0.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your seatbelt fastened while the seatbelt sign is on. We recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated. Toilets are located at each end of the cabin. Remember, smoking is not permitted at any time. This includes e-cigarettes. In just a
EP1.
few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase from our selection of fresh food available today. All details can be found in your in-flight brochure. You can also purchase a selection of hot beverages, together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit
Cheers for the new
cards.
subscriber, buddy.
The correct change would be greatly appreciated. And if we
So guys,
can
I'll
any
catch
further
up in a minute
assistance, then just ask
with
us
the
to join
chat.
you in the cabin shortly.
So nose lights can disappear, same with the takeoff. Strobes back to steady. Just need to be careful of this red area of wind shear. We're going to go open climb now to flight level 370. May need to skirt around some of that. Very, very miserable here in the UK at the minute. So guys, let's try and have a good look at. So cheers, knots fun for that, mate. So how long does the flight take, Stan? It takes about 1 hour, just under an hour, to Southampton. Standard pressure, 9,000 feet. System specs. If you go over to YouTube, mate, you can see it in the description. But pretty much it's a RTX 4070 and AMD Ryzen 7 800X3D. So let's release the. We're not going to release the cabin just yet, but the landing lights are gone, and we can get rid of the anti-ice for now. Yeah, we're not going to release the cabin until we're past this horrible red section, because we could experience a little bit of wind shear. So we've got 36 knot wind at us at the moment. There's not a lot to see really. It's a little bit bouncy in places, but hey, Park, how are we doing, buddy? Nice to see you again. Just got stuck at Gatwick for an hour. Yeah, that's sometimes how it goes, mate. I must admit, the worst place I've found personally is normally like Manchester. When the new Manchester scenery came out, it was hectic, absolutely hectic. Oh, finally we can actually see some cloud. No, I'm not Michael. And these clouds look a bit dodgy, don't they? If I'm honest, I've never really flown through much red sort of terrains, red weather, so we'll see what it's like. Obviously, realistically, you'd probably try and skirt around it a little bit, but I'm just intrigued because you don't see much more weather like this, really. It's weird that it's blue skies above us, so we just need to keep an eye on our speed. So in case of wind shear, we'll go to toga setting and we'll disconnect auto throttle. What's my favourite airline? A bit sad really. I love Jet2 to be fair. We don't really fly so much in sim because obviously they don't own many A320s, but yeah, I'm quite partial to Jet2 to be fair. In the sim, I've enjoyed flying EasyJet, British Airways, Jet2. They're the main sort of three that we tend to fly. So you've got a 4070 Super, decent cards, but I struggle with the V1. I do, mate, as well. I have exactly the same struggles. But look, I'm potentially looking at moving to a new graphics card in the next few months. So what's everyone's thoughts to the new wing control Airbus rudders? Do you think they'll be a good purchase? Do you think they're not a good purchase? What's your thoughts? There you go, so... So you notice we've not released the cabin yet, we're just waiting to get out of this dodgy bit of weather. Once we pass this dodgy section, then we'll release the cabin. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. 7900 XTX, 24GB VRAM, perfect for streaming as well. Then, but yeah, that's also what we're thinking. So let's make a cheeky little direct to. Well, to be fair, we're already making that turn anyway, so it makes a real little difference. I don't know how anyone else's MCD does. It kind of gets hot. It always gets very hot. I don't really know why. It's probably not less air circulation underneath though, to be fair. Are you still with us, Leo, or have you disappeared, mate? Here we go. Right, this looks a little bit better. So let's release the cabin now, I think. And then we'll start having a look. Like I said, this is the first time we've ever flown to Southampton, so I'm a little bit nervous, if I'm honest, because I know it's a very, very short runway. It only just fits the A319, so we'll have a look and see how much runway and stuff we're going to utilise. It could get a little bit bouncy. I think the weather's a little bit better actually down in Southampton than it is up here. So our landing weight is meant to be 56 tonnes basically. 56.07. So as we can see on... So quite tight margin, so we need auto brake medium, max reverse probably. We'll probably go to a max manual braking really. We'll see how we get on there. What we'll do though quickly while we're doing that, so 8 degrees, we'll get our approach plan all tuned in with the latest METAR, which is 984 hectopascals. Temperature is currently 8 degrees Celsius. The wind is 210 at 11. Certainly better than the winds we've got over here. And then we'll have a quick look. So that's everything in there. We just need to pop our bar in. So 127. We'll probably give ourselves a couple of knots, probably 129 for our approach speed. In fairness, we'll see how we go. So let's have a quick look at our charts for Southampton. So Bugger 1 Sierra arrival. So Bugger, we want to be flight restriction of 150 and level at that. Reading a level at 11,000. Compton flight level 120. To be fair, we're not actually going to Compton. We'll be bypassing. That's the Newbury Pepis 210, and then the Southampton VO is 90. However, we'll probably be descending further than that to get on the ILS for Southampton. So 1,800 feet is our height, and our decision height is 244. So if we jump down here, 244 in the barrow box, and that's got us all done pretty much. Hey buddy, how we doing? So guys, if you've got any questions, feel free to ask throughout the flight. We'll try and ask them best we can. If you enjoyed the content, feel free to give us a like, comment, subscribe, particularly over on YouTube. We're trying to increase our sort of subscriber amount. If you want to see anything about the overhead as well, I get loads of questions about the overhead. Check out over on YouTube. There's a couple of videos on there that we've released, one just the other day. Cheers for the policy guy. What do I use for clouds? I use absolutely nothing, is the honest answer. This is completely default clouds from MSFS. I can't get my words out today. MSFS even. How long to London? So we should be on the ground at oh, this is complicated. It says 14:48, so less than an hour, just under an hour. When you say do I have everything on max, are you going at my? Are you talking about my system specs? If I'm honest, no, we don't have everything on max. So these are on high. The clouds are on high because we fly airliners. There's certain things that I'm not so bothered about. So some things like the fauna, rocks, buildings, particularly, we actually lower the settings on that. And the reason being is because most of the places we go, we fly add-on scenery. So where we were just in Glasgow, that is Paraguay Development Corporation that have developed that scenery, and then in Southampton we've got the inner-build Southampton scenery, which is a recent purchase. So quite looking forward to it, to be fair. And Leo, 2 seconds a bit, I'll have a quick look over on Discord. Sorry, I've not got it open at the moment. Yeah, if I'm honest, so if you go between ultra and high, there's actually not much difference between the clouds. They don't really look any different. But in fairness, the clouds are quite good in flights in 2024, which is the reason why I've not. I used to have Rex, to be fair, in one of the previous versions. No, not particularly. Yeah. Luca, how long to London? Probably about. So, obviously, this time will update as we go along. So, less than an hour, probably about 40 minutes or so until we're on the ground. I will try and get a couple of little shortcuts on the way as well. A shame London's not online, to be fair. If London Control was online, that would be wonderful, but unfortunately, it's not online at the moment. Like I say, I'm a little bit nervous about this flight, mainly just because I've not really flown it before. But one thing we can do is we can have a look at go direct Subuk, try and reduce that time a little bit better. This is one of the beauties when there's not much ATC online. So one thing that we do need to do is just double check against the MSCDU and our sort of plan, just to make sure everything's there. So the first restriction we're going to encounter is book up, which is flight level 150 as a restriction, then flight level 110, and then at Pepsis we have a speed restriction of 210. So this is where it's saying that we've got a too steep a descent path. So at Southampton we could probably do 5,000. That hopefully we get rid of that issue there. But we'll probably be going straight onto the ILS anyway, rather than holding at Southampton overhead. That'll be the plan anyway for a straight in approach. So although it says 14:30, obviously you can see down here the time is actually 13:41. I appreciate it's not that in real life. Yes, we are on VATSIM Dan. Unfortunately, there's not much ATC on tonight, so there's not really. I doubt anything on Southampton's going to be online. How much did it cost me? It's difficult to say. So, like I said a few minutes ago, I think the actual retail cost you're probably looking about £3,000 without the PC. I would imagine, probably getting on that way. Time of you include the overhead and stuff. However, the flight sim seat that we've got, and also the overhead and the monitor mounts, I got a really good deal over on eBay on them. And it was basically just a guy that needed to get rid of them quickly, so I managed to snap them up for about a quarter of the price, the retail price. So pretty cool, to be fair. Sorry, Leo. Let me reply to you on Discord. Leo, so this makes sense. So that's I've forgotten that was a thing, to be fair, because obviously I use SimBrief. So what you need to do is you need to head into the EFB and into the balance and into the balance and mass page, and you'll basically need to manually select. Obviously, I can't do it because I'm in the air, but you need to manually select how much fuel you want against the flight plan that you've got. If that helps. So yeah, basically it'll say that it's going to load it from the Phoenix. Another way you can do it is you can step outside and open the refueling panel, but that's a very, very fiddly process. Or you could just cheat and just get Flight Sim to put the correct fuel on board. So it's a very similar routing actually to where we'd fly to Gatwick. Very, very similar routing. Pretty much identical, to be honest. When should you call the truck? Anytime really. Between generally speaking, it's normally before you start boarding. Obviously, mine does it as part of GSX. So it's entirely up to you really, as long as you've got fuel when you leave. Cheer for the subscribe, buddy. Have I ever crashed on here? No, I did plan on actually doing another leg back to Glasgow, but I think with the time of night it is. I've gone on holiday in like a day's time, and I've not packed anything yet, so I need a little bit of time to get that all done. Have I ever crashed? Of course I've crashed. Things have gone wrong. It doesn't happen as often these days as it has done previously. I've been playing Flight Sim for, well, at least probably 18 years, 15 to 18 years, somewhere around there. Quite a number of years, so I'm not as bad as I used to be. But don't get me wrong, I still have my moments where things go wrong. You just need to watch a stream that we did a few weeks ago at Gatwick. The wind was really, really crazy. And we'd already gone around once, and we were going for this second approach. And to be fair, we probably should have gone around again because the wind was just absolutely crazy. But we were just fighting with it. Like I said, we're hoping London Control comes online. That would be really nice if it does. Help us out a little bit. Maybe, though it will feel completely different, wouldn't it? I think you could set up for definitely go for an auto land, easy peasy. We'll definitely get it set up for an auto land. Yeah, I'd give it a shot, put it that way. I'd give it a shot. I have thought about it, but I'm quite set in my sort of career choice at the moment. Obviously, the problem is it's something I have considered. It would be something I would consider if the opportunity ever arose. I would take it, to be honest. I really would. But it's just the financial side of it, isn't it? Really, that's the biggest issue with it. Whether I get my PP on, I probably would. But commercially, obviously there's quite a lot of sacrifices you have to take. I think doing something like that you need to do from sort of early adulthood, really. And the problem with where I live, there's not many training centres nearby either, so it would require accommodation, travel and stuff. So it would be a little bit complicated. So we could get a little bit of turbulence here. I'm hoping not, because we're sort of skirting around everything. because the dodgy weather looks like this cloud that's off to our left side here. So hopefully it'll all work out okay. Yeah, the weather's pretty crazy here at the minute. Don't know what there is to see outside, not a lot really. That's the only problem with the weather like this, is there's not a lot to see other than lots of cloud. That's about it. Get the odd few little breaks in the cloud. I love these cinematic views from Chase Plane though, so good. Good for when I run out of things to talk about. And if so I don't really have a great deal to talk about tonight. Unless you guys have got any questions. But one thing I'm interested in though is what people's sort of views are around the new wing control rudder pedals. I'm in two minds, to be honest. I'm in two minds whether to go for the new Airbus rudder pedals. I think if you're going to spend that sort of money, I think you'd probably need to do that, but I guess it's difficult. Yeah, so mate, how doing? Yeah, fair enough, mate. I didn't really give it much of a thought, to be fair. What monitor I'm running? 4K. Oh, I wish. No, 1440p, so quad HD monitor body. If I put a 4K monitor through my system, it'd probably melt. I have tried playing in 4K, just to put it out there, and that was when it was really stuttery. Yeah, I think it would struggle, to be honest, especially with streaming and stuff as well. I think you have to consider I'm also running 3 screens on top of that as well. I don't know if any of you guys have seen the video from, I don't think who made it, but one of the, I think it might have been Aviation Jack or someone. I don't think who did it, but it was a really good video around getting the PFD displays all sorted. No worries, mate. I'll have a quick look for you. Yeah, I wish I was running 4K, to be fair. Oh, what's yes, it doesn't matter, Patrick, is the honest answer, mate, or Leo, Leonardo, sorry. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. You can do it before or after. Typically, I would normally do the fuel truck before, but you can kind of do it in the same process. The only difference really is when the fuel trucks and you're refueling, you won't have the seatbelt signs on. That's about the only thing it changes really. Yeah, other than that, it doesn't really change much. I have the same issue. I now use a 55-inch 4K monitor. Wow. But I have to reduce that to 1440p. Yeah, no, that's a cool. I would love to have a monitor that sort of size, mate. I really would. But for the minute, the setup works quite well. I did try stretching Glasgow across all 3 screens, but it looked horrific. But no, that's pretty cool, to be fair. No worries, dear, no worries. Yeah, but no, Dan, it's a like I'm planning on getting, like I say, a new GP, so hopefully we'll be able to run a little bit more off that as well. So we're about 60 miles to the top of the descent. Used to have 334 that took up too much space. Yeah, I'm quite fortunate really. I have quite basically a double bedroom. It's just pretty much got half of the systems, and it takes up about half of the room. To be honest, it's more the camera setups that take up more room. I don't know what people think. Obviously, people that have seen the lives before, we've moved our overhead camera, so the one that's up here is obviously looking overhead, and I think it gives you a slightly better perspective than it once did. I get quite a lot of questions about the overhead, to be fair. Loads and loads of questions about it. One thing I've noticed there, I think I've kind of chopped. Let's just make this a little bit better for you guys. It all depends on the sort of aspect ratio of everything. There we go, that's a little bit better. No worries, Leah, that's fine. Hey Jack, how we doing? Thanks for the follow, mate. And cheers to the like as well. So guys, if you're not already subscribed to us, feel free to give us a like, comment, subscribe over on YouTube. Same address, Fly With Me Simulations. There's loads and loads of content on there as well. I think we've got definitely over 200 videos, I think now. Sure there is. 100% we're over the 100 video mark. Certainly done quite a lot on that. And like I say, if you're wondering about the overhead, feel free to have a look on there as well. There's loads of information about the overhead. So the weather's still looking a bit rubbish. Let's have a quick look at our company message. It'll probably be just for a delay code, which is definitely not going to be a delay code because obviously the flight plan's further ahead than what we're actually in time-wise, so that'll be fun. So let's have a quick look at Southampton. I'll have a quick look on Navigraph on my other screen just to see. So we're landing runway 20. So there's a good chance, depending on where we sit on the touchdown zone, we may need to do a backtrack. But we'll aim to vacate at Alpha 1, I think, which is pretty much most of the length. Stand numbers, we're probably going to take in the stand number 6 or 7, I would imagine. There's no other aircraft there at the moment, so we actually did this flight as a recommendation from one of our viewers over on YouTube who suggested about doing this, so certainly it'd be something different. So we're 40 miles now until we are at the top of descent. So we could. I'm going to start my descent a little bit earlier, and the bonus of doing that is you'll pretty much be in a position to have just a shallower descent, really. So we'll just go VSO what 1,400 minus 1,400, and if you see here. That gets us level at, so you see when we increase it, that gets us level roughly where we need to be at 15,000 feet, so that should be nice for us. Let me have a look. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, to be fair. Bear with me, guys. I'm just having a quick look. So there's one called Chartbox. Personally, I've never used it. Like I say, if you're going to be flying more regularly, I would recommend, if you can, I appreciate not everyone's in the same position, see if you can invest in Navigraph, because it literally is the best thing. You get all your flight plans, everything done through it. So MSFS also has MSFS even. Also has the same sort of thing. He's feeling yawning. Yeah, it has a very similar sort of thing. So we're just overhead Liverpool at the moment, I think. Somewhere that sort of direction. I always find if we start the centre a little bit earlier, it just makes things a little bit easier for. Just makes your life a little bit easier. And so there's not much going in here. The sounds are so good with the Phoenix as well. I don't know about you guys, I'm really looking forward to the Neo though. I cannot wait for the Neo to come out. One cheeky thing you can do if you want to increase your sort of like time wise is you can, even though you're descending, you can sort of increase the speed a little bit sometimes. So if we go like 277 knots, something like that. Even 280 to be fair. Obviously our descent is going to be quicker, but it's always a bit of a tally to get the two. Problem is you want to make sure you don't overspeed as well, so just constantly checking your speed and your attitude and where you're going to hit the decision point. So there is a flight plan discontinuity at the minute. When I clear that discontinuity, it's going to put a bit of an extra routing round, which is going to be our go around routing after. So we probably should have a look at that and have a good look at the chart. So in case of a go around, so in case of Mr. Approach, climb ahead to 3,000 feet, initially straight ahead, then as directed. So there's no sort of established plan. Yeah, Chart Fox Leo should be about there, mate. That is a freeware version. I've never used it, so I can't tell you how good it is. I don't know if there is any other sort of freeware versions as well. There probably is. So guys, it's apparently 30 minutes until landing, but we've only got 149 miles to go. I doubt it'll be that long. So if we did need to divert anywhere, Heathrow is going to be where we divert to, though I probably wouldn't divert to Heathrow over Venice, I'd probably divert to Gatwick. Would be our actual plan. So we're just about to go over sort of Birmingham's airspace very shortly. These clouds are looking fantastic today though. What the weather will be like on the other side of it, who knows, but certainly from this side it's okay. So for those of you wondering why you get this sort of jumping effect, that is part of FS Realistic, which pretty much controls most of the stuff we do. How are you doing then, Jack? I hope you're well, mate. I don't know if there's anything he's doing much today. Hey buddy, how are we doing? We're landing into Southampton Airport in the UK from Glasgow. So a very unusual route. It is actually a real EasyJet route as well, which I didn't realise. Once I didn't realise Southampton's as active as it is. But I guess a lot of that is down to, say, people that are getting on cruise ships, so it'd be my guess. I guess that would be the reason for Southampton as an option. Good mate, please you're well. So nice that I can literally just lounge about. These new Airbus throttles are so much better than what we had previously. Literally you could just chill out. I was amazed how quick 100 Bravo sold though, to be fair. There was literally no squabbling for prices, nothing. So we've got some traffic in front of us, 20 miles, descending 2,400 feet per minute, or 2,400 feet below. I don't think we'll get to see him, unfortunately. I think he'll be below the cloud base. So one thing we need to keep in mind is that pretty much for our approach, 1,800 is the ILS intercept point at the distance of 7.2 miles from the threshold. So quite a short approach really. We may actually see this aircraft pop up, we may not though. Depends how. So it's about 15 miles away. Let's see if we can get a visual on it. So as you can see, because our speed's increased, we are actually achieving this much quicker than we would normally. I'm hoping we have a reasonable landing today though. A go around could happen, especially with the weather. We will have a quick look at the weather, to be fair. Just refresh it on the sun. I'm going to cheat tonight. So our arrival weather. So the wind is 220 at 12 knots, QNH 985, 8 degrees overcast at 4,600 feet, broken at 1,900, so it's going to be a bit cloudy on our approach, I think. Certainly the visibility is better here than it was back in Scotland. I love the flyby mode, to be fair. It doesn't default to that very often though. So Leo, how are you getting on with your rudders, buddy? Are they any good, or how are you getting on with them? Like I say, I'm still debating about changing these ones, which we may do at some point. Difficult one. I think what we'll do is we probably will pre-order the wing control ones, or wing, whichever you want to call them. So we've got about, well, only a few miles really to get ourselves. We've got about 10 miles between the two. So 11,000 feet we're aiming for now to be level but risen. We probably should have a quick look to make sure there's no ATC on. I don't think there is for this area. But once we get down here, so we've got one Sierra arrival we're doing. Do the overhead have an annunciator switch on it? As in like the Corrie switches? Yes, they all have the annunciators, like I'll show you briefly. So you can pretty much display everything you want on them. Yeah, so they're all there. It's a really difficult one to sort of get a view of, if I'm honest. We're still trying to find the best way of getting a view for you guys at home. But come on there. It does this occasionally where... There we go, so back to where we should be. Yeah, so it has all the normal annunciators and everything. It's about 70% size the panel is, it's not quite full size. I wouldn't have the space for a full size panel, to be fair. So Patrick, to your question mate, so should you use your rudders with mid-air? You can use them mid-air. I wouldn't recommend it very much though, because what will happen is basically the aircraft that you're in, your autopilot will disconnect. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. Obviously in a lighter plane like a Cessna, yes, you do use them more to sort of substantiate your turns. So one thing we do need to do, let's start slowing ourselves down. Let's go back to 250 knots for now. Yeah, I'm really excited when I go away as well, because we should be flying in a 320 Neo as well, 321 Neo, which obviously Jet2 don't actually own that many of them. They've got a few now, so that's going to be an interest. So we got a quick message, which is a telex message from VATSIM. So it's telling me what stand number we've been assigned provisionally. So realistically, we can fly pretty much with whatever stand number we want. So stand number 3, that's right down on the terminal side, so, but it's fine, we can take 3. But we won't get GSX to do anything until we're on the ground. So we could get a couple of light patches of turbulence. I think let's get the cabin secure for London. Yeah, pretty much. Taxiing realistically though, Leo, you shouldn't really be using. It depends. If you've got a joystick, then use the Z-axis, so the turning axis, on the joystick. So if you've got that sort of rotating axis, use that as your tiller.
Shortly be landing.
But I personally don't use the rudders for steering on the ground. You can use it for steering on the ground, but it's not as effective as using the tiller.
Your tray tables must be stowed, armrests down, window blinds open.
So let's utilise a little bit of
Please review the safety card found in your seat
try and slow ourselves down a touch.
Safety information. In an emergency, leave all baggage on board. Please help us by handing in any rubbish, newspapers or magazines that you do not want to take with you. The toilets can no longer be used.
So what we're going to do is we're going to have a quick look at our descent profile, just see how this is going to be best managed really. So if we want so around there, 1,000 feet per minute should have us about right. So probably what we'll do initially is probably get descend to 3,000. Try be level at Pepsi, and we'll go from there. There's not a lot of difference between Pepsi's Southampton view and CF 2490. So strobes back on to override, and we'll get the landing lights on in a second. Cheers for the follow, Alex. Really, is that how many they have? That's quite a good going actually. So the one I'm actually going in is about 6 months old. I think it was from July last year. 6 months old? That's a lot longer than 6 months old. Yeah, it's from about July last year. Don't know what I'm talking tonight. I'm talking a load of rubbish.
Element 100 is standing right, heading to 66, this is the traffic and delay our
So we'll start picking up a little bit of Gatwick and Heathrow sort of traffic. I think they use the Neos typically for the busier routes, don't they? So when I've flown to Lanzarote, we've never been in a Neo, but the Tenerife, I suppose it's a bigger place, so kind of makes a little bit more sense. So let's get the landing lights on.
to 100 is turning left, heading 10 and intercept pilot 0 minus left.
QNH 984 hectopascals, I think it was. 984. So landing system active. Southampton traffic easy 97 unit inbound on the Bug Up 1 Sierra at arrival, descending to 3,000 feet. Currently 48 miles, sorry. 48 miles. It's not quite a way, really. So we're at the restriction 250 knots now. Pretty much all ready to go. Depends what the visibility is like. If the visibility is okay, we'll probably disconnect a little bit earlier. I think it's going to be a bit of an issue with the cloud, to be honest.
Heathrow traffic and in element 100 is the stop side, that's
So it could get a little bit bumpy in a moment. About another 20 miles or so before. Set in approach checklist, Sparrow 984 hectopascal, seatbelt on the minimums of 244 Barrow. Water brake medium, engine mode selected on. What mods do we use for the weather? We don't use any mods for the weather, Josh. This is completely
left. Cabin secure for landing.
wonderful, thank you.
Thanks.
Yes, we don't use any add-ons for that. So, wish us luck. Hopefully we get down on the ground safely. Hope the visibility is not too dreadful today. I'm pleased we've flown in the daytime and not at night time, because it'd be even more dull, wouldn't it? So it's going to get a little bit bumpy. Sometimes you can see it better like this, to be fair. A bit of bumpiness, but it's not too bad.
Final and we will 90 left. Have a good landing, everyone, and I'll report when
But yeah, it's just the default weather. It is up to high though in terms of quality wise. It's up to high. But yeah, nothing touched with the weather whatsoever. Like I say, we do use FS Realistic, but that just provides sort of the camera wobble and the horrible noise you'll hear on landing, and probably the screams as well. We'll see how we go. A little bit of rain. So obviously we need to slow down pretty sharp. This shouldn't be an issue. So what add-ons do we use to enhance our sim? So we use a few different add-ons. So one of the main ones is FS Realistic that we utilise. That gives us the sort of camera wobble. Obviously we're utilising the Phoenix aircraft, which is the biggest add-on really. I'm trying to think what else we run. Obviously most of the airports we have add-on scenery for, if I'm honest. What else? I'm trying to think what else we run really. I obviously run V-Pilot and Navigraph alongside, but not a huge amount of add-ons if I'm honest. Like there's a few, and we utilise Chase Plane as well for all the camera views that you'll see. So we're just about to make this turn, so we're going to start reducing our speed now to 210 knots, ready for our approach, and we're going to do that utilising some spoilers as well. Also using the spoilers may make it a little bit bumpier than it should be as well. You see it wobbling a touch. So that traffic that's crossing is 8,000 feet above. There we go, the weather's slightly better. So once we get to Pepsis, we want to go direct to CF20. We've got that all planned and ready. And continue our descent to 2,500 feet. So let's get rid of them spoilers and we'll arm them. Speed check flaps number 1. I'll just hold our speed nicely. So quick VLS check, 129. So because of the wind, we'll probably get away with. Let's lose one at 126. See how we get on with that. So we pretty much want to get this next waypoint, then we'll just go direct to the next waypoint. There's no need to go overhead of the Southampton VOR. And we'll start reducing our speed even further.
$2,500.
Checked. So it's going to be a little bit bumpy, I think. We'll slowly bring the speed back a touch as well. So we're on the approach AP1, AP2, Cat 3 dual. Southampton traffic EasyJet A319 Juliet on the ILS, runway 20. Speed back to 180 knots and then we'll just slowly reduce it from there. So, get down. Get ourselves configured nice and early. So we should be achieving 2,500 where we should be at. The next point after that's 1,800. Got ourselves nice and slow, nice and early. So speed checkbox 2. So 1,800. That's bang on the money there. So we may have a little touch of turbulence just here. Flaps 3 and flaps 4. So we configured quite early, but obviously our visibility is not brilliant either. So then, landing check, let's go around altitude. In a second we'll set to 3,000 once we're established. Cabin is ready, ecam, a memo, and landing, no blue. Lock start. Alt star. So glide slope's coming in now. We still have no visual on the runway, so 7.5 miles. Southampton traffic EasyJet A319 Juliet short funnels and runway 20. Yes, for ILS for the moment. So glide slope star 3,000 feet is set. So go around that attitude all done. Onto a visual, we'll disconnect and see what happens. So we've got a 20 knot crosswind at the moment. Still no visual at the moment. reduce the minimum approach speed in a second. Minimum approach speed. All the days to do a landing like this is rubbish weather. $1,000. So visual-ish. Manual flight. Cat 1. Auto throttle disconnect.
500.
Land.
100 above. Speed, speed, speed. Minimum.
Continue.
Flight slow. Flight slow.
40, 30, 20. Retard.
Ooh.
Yeah, we definitely touched down.
Transporters. With a screen. Manual braking. Bit of a hard landing. Very hard landing in actual fact. Definitely a Ryanair landing. So let's get rid of our. So we've got taxi lights, strobes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties. However, we ask that you remain seated until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off. Portable electronic devices for messaging, calls or internet access may now be used.
After landing radar,
Please make
see
sure
if
that you
wind shear
take
system
all
is
your
off after
personal
landing
belongings
complete.
with you, checking in the seat pocket, underneath the seat and in the overhead lockers. Do take care when
Yeah, it was a little bit high on the approach, wasn't it?
falls out.
I say I'm
Smoking
still
is not permitted
getting used to all
until you
this
reach a
sort of
designated
stuff really.
smoking area. On behalf of the captain and the crew, it has been our pleasure looking after you today. Our ground crew will help you complete your EasyJet journey. For the latest news, promotions,
tiny,
flight
tiny
and
airport though, isn't it?
destination information, check out our official Facebook page, Twitter, or EasyJet app.
Be interesting to see what our landing rate was. It was hard, I can tell you that much. But yeah. Sometimes FS Realistic though makes it sound a lot harder than it actually is, but the fact that you went, oh yeah, the fact that the guy made a comment on it, definitely a dodgy landing, but we're down, most importantly. So we want to be off to the left hand side here for our stand. AP is now available, and we smooth T8 mode on here. So this is the inbuilt scenery for Southampton. In fairness, it seemed quite smooth on landing. No issues with the scenery itself. Just the piloting. So we're after stand number 3, so that's stand number 4, so it's going to be the next one across, probably where all the stairs are, to be fair. Like I said, guys, we may do another flight tomorrow afternoon time. Just depends on everything, really. So let's bring the nose around. Don't know where my mate is, Marshall Anderson. There's definitely not going to have a safe box somewhere like this. Oh, I can see him, he stood in the building, which is really helpful. I can just see some arms waving. At least the ground controls are a little bit better than the... Parking brake is set. ABS available. Engine and master 1 and 2 off. My mate's dancing because we parked on the spot. External power available.
Cabin crew, doors to manual and cross check.
Cheers for the subscribe, Jeff. Much appreciated, buddy. So apologies, it wasn't the most nice landing in the world. Let's have a quick look at our touchdown rate though. Let's see what that told us. Oh dear, that was a dodgy touchdown rate. Like 385. To be honest, I felt like it was bigger than that. Yeah, it's pretty. Cool, David. And please, the settings guide helps you, mate. Got a little bit of backlash from that, to be fair. Yeah, turn up, bros. How we doing? So then, guys. Let's just quickly get all these few bits done. So, parking checklist, engine off, wing lights off, fuel pumps off, parking checklist complete. And we'll release the brakes, chocks are in place. What's the better now? You'll see passengers get off. Look, there we go. All them passengers that we didn't have are now going to all of a sudden get off. It amazes me every time. Yeah, so guys, thank you very much for joining us this evening. Hope you've enjoyed it. Apologies, it's not been the best of landings, but there we go. So we all have days like this. I just seem to be having more of them days than the decent touchdown days. Though we did have two nice flights down to Jersey and Gatwick the other day, which both had landing rates of like literally a couple of I think it was like 70, minus 70 and minus 24 or something. Which I'll definitely take that. I suppose because it's a new airport as well. A fair amount, buddy. Fair amount of money. But yeah, it's overall though. Flight Sim 24 is pretty good these days. I quite like it. So this is the Unibuilds version for Southampton. Obviously, there's no other aircraft there, just us at the moment. But overall, it looks pretty good. To be fair, there's nothing. Well, let's put it this way: there's no taxiways that are got big ledges in, so that's always a good start. And to be honest, the performance on the landing was pretty good as well. So then, guys, thank you very much for joining us. Hope you have a lovely evening. Thanks to a few of our followers for joining us this evening. Cheers, David, for your comments there, and Leo, happy birthday, mate. Hope you have a good evening. And all the rest of you, thank you very much for watching. If you would like this content, feel free to give us a like, comment, subscribe, and hopefully we'll have some slightly better landings in the future. Yeah, take care, we'll see you soon, and bye for now.